a 32-degree day in Greencastle, Indiana, as we bring you the road to Canton. The Wheaton Thunder enter Black Rock Stadium to take on the DePauw Tigers. It's the third round of D3 championship tournament play. Joined by former Northwestern offensive lineman Jared Thomas. And Jared, I'd say that you know a little bit about playing in the cold weather, but to me it's just playoff weather right here. 32 degrees, it's a good one. What are you thinking as far as the temperatures here and we're moving along here in playoff tournament play?
I truly feel that both teams probably feel like this is a summer day compared to what they played in just a week ago. Snowfall for both teams as they were respectively in their second round playoff matchups, but a lot of excitement here at Blackstock Stadium, just because in playoff football, there's something that's always super pertinent, and that is if you don't win, you're going home.
That's exactly right. Now, if you look at the numbers for both of these teams, as far as DePauw's concerned, you know, the rushing numbers are insane for the defensive end, only allowing 13 rushing yards a game. But we talked about it before the broadcast, and you don't think that's going to be too big of a problem for this Wheaton team.
This is a Wheaton team that averages almost 300 yards.
Won the toss, elected to receive.
As I was saying, as you heard the opening coin toss decision, this is a Wheaton team that passes for almost 300 yards per game through the air. And this is a DePauw team, as you said, only giving up about 13 rushing yards per game. So this is going to be a battle of strengths, and sometimes what most might see for DePauw Tigers as a battle of weakness and giving up some ground in the pass game. So forces are going to meet in the middle today.
Now for DePauw, they were just able to squeak away 26-23 over Wisconsin Whitewater, an interception to seal that game. They move on to round 3, but that was a really tight game just last week.
Their first road victory in NCAA championship play in 5 seasons. Not to mention the guy who sealed the victory in Hildebrand. That is a guy that was known as a special teams guy going back to last season and even coming into this season, and he's come up nothing but clutch time and time again. So that Tigers team is inspired, excited to play in front of their home crowd. And what more can we say? This is playoff football.
Not much different for Wheaton. They end up winning the fourth quarter 14-8 to seal their game against the Knights 28-24.
One thing that stands out to me is offensively, they had 3 drives spanning at least 14 plays, including the last drive to go win the game, in which running back Matt Kreider crossed the line to score the game-winning touchdown. But to go on 3 drives with at least 14 plays, that is a team that is going to and has the potential to control the clock. So if this becomes a field position and clock management game, the Thunder feel like they have the advantage.
And so it's going to be DePauw starting off with the football here. Alex Hoover back to return along with Carson Johnson. But give me some expectations for the offense. If they want to succeed here for DePauw, what do they need to do?
This is just about what they've done all season, playing complementary football. They've done that more in the back part of this season, running the football, which opens up the passing lanes, especially for quarterback and Scott Ballantyne. And I'm sure they're going to be looking for brother and Robbie out on the perimeter at receiver.
Well, the kick is away, and it's going to be a short one to the 20-yard line. So decent field position to start things off for DePauw as they're going to start at the 31. Cold football, a little bit more difficult to put toe to leather maybe.
But it's all about getting the jitters out on the first hit. Don't too much anticipate what's going to happen outside of that first play that you get to get in and contribute to the action. And as you saw, the special teams fired up for the Tigers.
And as you've already mentioned, Scott Ballantyne coming in behind center. 32 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions from Crown Point. But it's the sibling, Robbie Ballantyne, the senior, who's the #1 target for this team. First snap for Ballantyne. They're just going to run the football this time right up the middle. And that's going to be a gain of about 5 yards. No, the pile continues. 7-yard gain. First down, on the first down.
If you've paid attention to the DePauw Tigers the last couple of seasons, the guy that just got the football, and Caden Whitehead, that is a guy that was a workhorse coming out of the backfield. Numbers down in total yards rushing this season, but when you look at yards per average that he has on each carry, he's still at almost 5 yards a carry. He's got another guy in the backfield that complements him well, but they've gotten really going these last few weeks, and if they can get up to linebackers, that offensive line, they will have a lot of success today.
It is an Indianapolis-led backfield as once again they gave him the rock, and Whitehead is just short of the line to gain. But Caden Whitehead, Park Tudor, Carson Johnson, Cathedral, and even Seth Mercer also from Cathedral as the third back on this team. So I think they know where they want their running backs from.
Something about the Indianapolis talent that has paved a great way here in Greencastle for this Tigers football team.
3rd down and short here on the first possession of the ball game for DePauw. Everyone's set here. As Ballantyne again hands it off, and it's a tackle in the backfield. A great play that time for the Thunder, and that's going to bring up 4th down and a great stop for Wheaton.
Rex Kroger does an outstanding job complimenting his other defensive line mate in Peter Johannick, but watch him just get off the block and stonewalls Whitehead in the backfield and then gets up with the emphatic celebration. Outstanding job. TFL number 12 on the season for Mr. Kroger.
Offense stays out. No, I'm sorry, the punt team is out here on 4th down, but no times through the air here for Scott Ballantyne as it's a 3 and out for DePauw, and the punt goes away this time. A good one inside the 20-yard line, but a nice return out of bounds at the 20, and so we'll see what Wheaton can do on the offensive end.
It's exactly what you want to do for Jesse Scott's Thunder team. You start on defense at the beginning of the game. You go out, you force a 3 and out, and now you've swung the momentum in your favor, and now you look to your offense to get things started for them in their respective categories.
So now it's going to be Mark Forcucci, the leader of the offense for this Wheaton team. 31 touchdowns to 5 interceptions on the season for Forcucci. And it's going to be a play action, a nice throw in the middle of the field, and that one is going to be caught near the sticks. Caleb Titherington from Matthews, North Carolina with the reception and a 1st down on the first play of the offense for the Thunder.
This is a guy in Titherington that averages almost 16 yards per reception. And any guy on this roster over 20 catches, he's the most explosive one, already getting the party started with that 1st down reception.
Thought we were going to be keeping it on the ground right there. Nice play action, opens up the middle of the field. It's 1st and 10 this time from the 32-yard line. And it's a handoff out to the left side for a couple of yards that time for Matt Kreider.
This is an offense for the Thunder led by offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach James Houck that's going to be multiple in their run game. A lot of pullers, a lot of deception with what they get in the backfield, going opposite of offensive linemen, contributing to confusion. But in the pass game, they're going to complement that as well with shorter routes when they get into their RPO stuff. So look for them to do a lot of different things today.
Forcucci again. Fakes a handoff and a nice throw to the outside, and that is going to be good enough for a 1st down. That's Seth Kortenhoven. Kortenhoven with the catch that time. 2nd down moves to 1st. It's 1st and 10 from the 43-yard line.
Everything about a first drive is going to scream rhythm. It's going to scream comfort just because those plays are usually scripted. It's something that everyone feels confident with. So when a team comes out and executes like the Thunder have, they're fully astounded by what they can do because it's been scripted out already.
Kreider with another great carry, and the offense is absolutely gashing this DePauw defense so far on the first drive of the ball game. They're across the 50-yard line.
We already talked about it, this DePauw defense being so stout against the run, but this pullers by the offensive line up front from the Thunder, getting up to the 2nd level, escorting Crowder into a nice gain on 1st down.
Can basically do anything here, 2nd down and a yard. Forcucci going to drop back. This one deflected, batted in the air, and safely to the turf that time. Could have been dangerous had that been a little bit closer to the defensive line. Great job coming around the edge that time to make the play.
Joey Rowland just doing an outstanding job coming to balance. Although he was blitzing, does a nice job understanding what he saw in the backfield, what he read with his eyes, able to be an athlete, get his hands on the football. Thought he may be able to get there for the interception, but nonetheless, a great play on 2nd down.
Rowland, a local product here in Indiana as well, Greenfield, Indiana. And they'll hand it off, fullback right up the middle. And that's good enough for a 1st down that time.
The carry by Riley Howard.
Riley Howard, actually the starting tight end today, but comes in that fullback spot and makes a big one.
First and 10.
Starting tight end because the actual starting tight end in Ben Juska not making the appearance today. Therefore, Howard McCauley going to fill in his absence.
Again, first and 10, play action. Going deep this time, has his man toward the end zone. Caught, touchdown, Thunder.
Pass is completed.
Kortenhoven, second reception of the day,
Thunder touchdown.
and Wheaton's on the board.
Landon, this is why when the run game and the pass game are married together, it can be so dangerous. Everyone's eyes, you can't see it in the screen. The token fake in the backfield from Forcucci, and then he finds his receiver, Kortenhoven, down the field, right over the outstretched arms of that defensive secondary. And once again, if that receiver on the back-end player gets even with you, he's leaving. And that's exactly what he did. He left everyone for the first touchdown of the game for the Thunder.
Well, you talked about how the passing game is going to open up here for Wheaton because, you know, this DePauw team really collapses on that run game. But when the run game succeeds the way that it did on that first drive, the play action absolutely devastating.
Simply because you have to honor that. No matter how effectively a team runs the football, as you said, if they've gashed you a couple times on that drive, you're going to, just by human nature, start to respect it a little bit more so you get to your fits quicker in the run game. And when you do that, offensive coordinators and offenses all over the country are looking to go over the top, and that's exactly what Wheaton did for that touchdown.
Wheaton on the board, 7-0 following the PAT, and an absolutely great drive that time, right down the field, capped off by a 40-yard bomb for the touchdown to Kortenhoven. And this DePauw team probably not expecting to be hitting them out the way that they have here at home in this first drive. 7 plays, 80 yards, the drive that time for Wheaton. So it'll be boot to leather coming up here. The last time we saw the kickoff, it was a bit short. Ended up being caught at the 20-yard line.
The kicker is Mateo Jesh.
Mateo Jesh, the place kicker as well, but he'll be kicking off for the Thunder. Same men back here for the Tigers. Only a few minutes into this ball game. Again, it's going to come to about the 15-yard line, but this time it will be returned. DePauw, and again, going to be setting up shop at about the 30-yard line. Alex Hoover with the carry.
AJ Pace makes the tackle.
It'll be first and 10 from the 30 to start it off. The second drive of the game, and DePauw still haven't seen the ball in the air so far for them. They just went run those 3 times that they had the football.
Well, I think that gives you a bit of insight into the game plan that the Tigers have to attack this defense for the Thunder, and that's offensive coordinator Mason Espinosa and Brett Dietz probably collaborating together, understanding they've been running the ball really well offensively, wanted to stay in that same lane and vein, and started with 3 straight runs, and it turned into a 3-and-out.
Valentine drops back that time. It's going to be incomplete.
Valentine's pass incomplete.
Intended for Frankie Riccardi.
This is going to be a Wheaton defense that is going to be aggressive. They're going to play a good amount of man coverage. They're going to blitz. So this is going to be a team that's going to put a lot of pressure on the skill players of this DePauw Tigers team.
And Riccardi had a defender just glued onto him. It would have been a difficult catch. Second down and 10. Valentine looks to pass again, has a man, and it's Riccardi again. That time it will be caught just around the 35-yard line. So first completion of the day for Scott Valentine.
If in the first attempt it does not work, why not go right back to it? Scott Valentine finding Frankie out in the flat again. A nice sizable gain, getting it to third and manageable as they're looking to extend for what would be their longest drive of the game thus far as they went 3 and out on their first offensive possession.
It's a nice closeout there by the corner, Joseph Bracey, to make the play. Third down and 3 for the Tigers. Faking the handoff, Ballantyne rolls out, has it. No, it's deflected, nearly intercepted, and then again, that was Joseph Bracey.
This is everyone involved in this football contest. We're going to talk about Robbie Ballantyne and what historically he's doing as a receiver, but sometimes brother is going to force feed him. Everyone knows that. DePauw knows that, and I believe the Thunder know that as well. And you saw Bracey getting in there for the pass deflection. That is number 11, leads the entire team in that department, and you see exactly why.
Back-to-back, great plays by Bracey, forces another 3-and-out here for DePauw as the punt unit back out there. This one away. Pressure was coming in. The punt, a good one as it's trickling toward the end zone. And are they going to say that he's, yes, they're going to give him the spot at the 1-yard line. A great punt. I guess he possessed it before he went into the end zone.
The only thing I'm not totally sure on is once he possesses it in the field of play, I don't think he can continue to travel into the end zone, and that is what some of the fans and coaches are looking for from the officials to get some explanation on that one. But nonetheless, an outstanding job by Buddy Gomez pinning this Thunder offense on their second drive.
Oh, the pressure came that time. I think he put a little bit of extra boot into it. saw the blockers coming. And it went about 5 or 10 yards further than the return man was expecting. So it took a nice hop. But like you mentioned, you know, you take it into the end zone, I would expect that to be a touchback. But they put the ball at the 2-yard line. It was an 80-yard drive for a touchdown last time. Now they're going to have to go the entire stretch of the field. It'll be a play-action pass just outside of the intended receiver that time. And that was Titherington again.
Defender was Jaden Miller for the Tigers. Second down.
Just a missed throw by Mark Forcucci trying to find Titherington on the same type of glance route, just an extension off of a longer type of slant route that goes just in front of the outstretched arms of Titherington as he was trying to find it and cut up field.
Forcucci in his own end zone trying to find some extra space. They'll hand it off up the middle that time. Gain a couple of yards for Kreider, give him a little bit extra room. But it is going to be 3rd down and long.
But this is why you want to marry the special teams and the defense together, because if your punter can do a great job pinning the opposing offense back into their own territory and your defense is stout against the run and they can force a stop, it flips the field for your offense that also injects some life into the offense that have gone 3-and-out on back-to-back drives.
They do, once again, have Howard in the backfield. Back to pass this time, and it is in the turf, incomplete, 4th down. On their own 4-yard line, so the punt team going to come out. But I do have to assume that Smith is going to have his eyes toward the back of the end zone here when he takes the snap.
Josiah Smith in punt formation for
Josiah Smith from Zionsville, the junior, with his heels on that back white line. And it looks like DePauw jumped, and they didn't stop play. They actually let it go. So the punt gets away. And it goes just across the 50-yard line. I have to assume that this is going to go against the return team.
As we await the official ruling down on the field, DePauw probably a tad bit excited to potentially go block the punt on that punt attempt by Wheaton. And just jumped the gun way too soon.
Now, a penalty on the defense would not give them a 1st down. Normally, the rule would be you don't want to re-kick at any point as a punt team. But because of the distance and you're trying to flip field a little bit, it looks like the punt team ready to go out there again. So it looks like they will accept this penalty more than likely. Actually, never mind.
Offside. Defense. The penalty decline. DePaul's first down.
So they will decline the penalty and just take the punt, knowing that that penalty flag does not give them the first down. Nice job there, pulling that one back, though. And so the punt and the spot of the ball is at the 47-yard line. So DePauw going to have better field position than they have on their first two drives, but still looking for that first down of the ball game.
Scott Ballantyne, the Tiger quarterback, with Carson Johnson at running back.
So Johnson in, back to pass is Ballantyne. That one is caught just short of the sticks.
That pass is completed to Leighton Lukowski.
Leighton Lukowski, Carmel, Indiana native, makes the grab.
Caleb Coburn on that.
You know, when you look at the receiving core for this DePauw team, a ton of upperclassmen, and Ballantyne being a sophomore has to be so grateful for the fact that he's got these older guys catching these footballs for him.
It simply just makes his job a lot easier. He has so much firepower to really go and attack other defenses with, and Lukowski is just another guy in that receiver room that makes life easy for Ballantyne.
Second down and 1. It's going to be a carry up the middle this time for Carson Johnson, and he moves the sticks, and they're across midfield to the 35-yard line.
Carson Johnson is the Energizer Bunny in the backfield. We talked about Caden Whitehead to start the game, but this is a guy averaging over 6 yards per carry that can get it going quickly. It's almost like a rhythm shooter. As soon as he sees the first one go in, everything seems to be good, and that's exactly how Carson Johnson runs the football.
Ballantyne back to pass again. He was hit when he went to throw that one. It was a little off the mark, and it's incomplete.
Intended for Johnson.
Intended for Johnson again.
Second and 10.
So offensive line is going to have to pay a lot of attention to defensive lineman Peter Johannick. He's wearing number 3. This is a guy who's already the all-time leader in Wheaton football history with tackles for loss, the upwards of almost 60 on his entire career. That's a guy that is harassing backfields and can rush the passer, as he already has done this year. As you see him getting in on the action at the very end of that play.
Ballantyne took off that time, took a shot, but it looks like he's got enough for the first down. Zeke Harris makes the tackle right at the sticks, but it will move him. 1st and 10 across the 25-yard line.
If Wheaton paid attention to the game that DePauw had against University of Wisconsin-Whitewater a week ago, that is something that Scott Ballantyne did time and time again. 6 carries, 48 yards on the ground. Not something that he did or majored in the entire season, but really hurt that defense last week with his legs and keeping up that same fortune on that previous play.
Now back to pass, taking a shot toward the end zone, and it is caught. Touchdown DePauw. What a throw and catch that time. Lukowski comes away with the reception. And a deep ball match for a deep ball that time. A touchdown for DePauw to try to tie this ball game up.
But that's a big-time play from Leighton Lukowski, because once he gets the defensive back beat, he nudges back into him right there, and then he goes up for the football, contested catcher that he is. He goes up and gets the first score of the game for the Tigers.
Mason Haas was all over that one, but just going over the top, a great catch. The PAT is up, and it is good by Matthew Berry. And we've got ourselves a tied ball game here at DePauw. What a third round this is shaping up to be. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break. We'll be right back. 5:43 to go here in the first quarter.
Jagger back deep, along with Sam McFadden as the returner.
Back
for the
here
Thunder.
where we just saw an absolute bomb to tie this ball game up. DePauw on the board now. It's a 24-yard touchdown for Ballantyne to Lukowski. Return this time inside the 10-yard line, and it'll be across the 25.
Jagger on the return.
That's where Wheaton will set up shop, looking to respond. Look like a different football team now that the ball's in the air a little bit more often here for DePauw.
But it's worth noting that that touchdown drive ultimately started with the punt from Buddy Gomez. He did an outstanding job of pinning that offense back from Wheaton. And then when they were unable to execute and get a first down, forcing a 3-and-out, that DePauw defense, that was the momentum that the offense needed to eventually go down and score. And now you feel if you're cheering for DePauw or on their sideline, now the actual game starts because the nerves of getting on the scoreboard, as your opponents did first, is now all even.
Forcucci back to pass again. Outside, that one going to be caught.
Forcucci's pass completed.
Titherington with the catch.
The tackle by
4-yard gain on the play.
Gain of 6 on the play.
5 for 8 on the day here for Forcucci in the early goings of this ball game. Second down and 4. Again, play action. That one deflected, nearly intercepted,
That pass is broken up by Joey
but it is
Rowland.
incomplete. Joey Rowland had a hand on it,
3rd and 4.
and I think he wants that one back.
This is just marrying instincts with game plan recognition. Joey Rowland understands the back is in the backfield. RPO is coming. This is now the second time that he's got into the way of Forcucci trying to find one of his receivers. That's 2 tip balls. And anytime a defense sees tip balls, their ears get pinned back as they're trying to rally to it to create a turnover. Nice job by Rowland.
DePauw showing some pressure. And it's going to be a carry up the middle, a huge shot right at the line to gain. Owen Rossell.
The hit by Owen Rossell.
And it's going to be short, 4th down.
He stops short. of the
Less
line
than a
to gain
yard.
4th down.
Offense gets back up for Wheaton. And a botch on the handoff, but it doesn't matter.
Wheaton heads upfield.
Forcucci dials his own name. He's got a first down.
Love the emotion that Mark Forcucci is playing this football game with. He threw a touchdown to Kortoven, and he looked to the DePauw sideline and really talked his stuff toward their sideline. And then on this one, gets the first down, signals the first down, and is fired up again, getting his sideline involved. So the quarterback playing with a lot of swagger today.
I think Kreider was trying to take that one out of his hands, but they get the first down. Firing this time, intercepted. This one returned, fumbled for a moment, but then recovered by DePauw. It's going to be a turnover.
By Aaron Wagner of the Tigers.
Aaron Wagner, the Fort Wayne native, the senior, comes up big with the interception.
Ruling on the field.
Nehemiah Daw
Interception and fumble and recovery by DePauw.
had the recovery.
First down.
So Daw with the recovery off the fumble, but the interception right there.
When you're so used to being an explosive offense, you're looking for the chunk plays. I already talked about it. The Thunder averaged almost 300 yards through the air, and that was quarterback Mark Forcucci trying to find Caleb Titherington downfield. Probably the easiest interception that Aaron Wagner would ever have. But the only thing I would say for the Thunder, quarterback Forcucci had Riley Howard in the flat just underneath. So when you try and go take the whole kitchen sink, sometimes it comes back to bite you in the rear end.
Well, he's been targeting Titherington already in this first quarter quite a bit. And so once again, just trying to go back to the well, going back one too many times, as that is only his 6th interception on the season.
Seeing this DePauw team earlier in the season, they've had a bit of trouble in their secondary, something that Coach Dietz said they had to figure out in the
Wheaton
back part of the season.
is challenging targeting on the quarterback. The play's under review.
So possible targeting call And the reason I think that might be important, if that hit comes before the interception, that penalty flag would be assessed and it would be Wheaton football, I would believe.
And it's going to tack on 15 from the original spot, as we already saw, but it just depends on what was the sequence of violations that happened. Was the hit first? Was it targeting? And then secondly, when did the interception take place?
And that's actually the big thing. We're going to have to actually determine whether or not it was targeting, if there even is a penalty to be assessed.
But I think that's why they have you and I here in the booth, and they pay all those referees the big bucks.
And the shot comes in right there.
It's Dominique Siebel going after quarterback Mark Forcucci. But when targeting, you have to understand, a quarterback is always going to be protected no matter what. Did Siebel lower his head with the crown of his helmet and go underneath Forcucci? I would say based off of that, it's bang, bang. But to the letter of the law, the answer would be yes. So depending on how the referees see that, great heads-up play and recognition from Jesse Scott. But it's bang, bang. The head, he did lead with the crown of his helmet, but it also looked like he chest bumped him at the same exact time. It's going to be a tough call to determine how this is going to be ruled.
Now, the big difference, too, obviously a personal foul for roughing the passer is one thing. They're not challenging that. They're not able to. But a targeting, on the other hand, you mentioned it, the crown of the helmet. Where is that spot on the crown of the helmet? Normally they have to dip down. He does hit him right on the chin. I could understand why they might throw a 15-yarder for roughing the passer.
The ruling on the field is upheld. There is no targeting. The initial contact was with the chest with arm extension. DePauw first down.
And that's exactly what I was going to say.
Will also lose the remaining challenges for the game.
So that's also huge. Not going to be able to challenge for the next 3 quarters.
And be charged a timeout.
So it will be 1st and 10 DePauw.
When you're as big and strong as Dominique Siebel is, sometimes it probably feels like your hit of a normal, what looked to be a push-up or a bench press, and the way that Forcucci's head snapped back to head coach Jesse Scott wanted the officials to take a further look at it.
Tigers at the Wheaton 49.
So again, good field position already across midfield here for DePauw. And it's a handoff left side. Whitehead with some space. Has a first down and some. A player down for the Tigers. Ricciardi hobbled. He got back up. He's headed toward the sideline. A penalty flag down as well.
Holding. Offense, 74. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
So a holding penalty negates that first down rush. And also pins DePauw back behind on their side of the football field.
First down and 20. Caden Whitehead in the backfield for the Tigers.
First and 20 from the 41 this time. And this is a pass and catch to the outside. And that's going to go for quite a bit. Throw to the flat for Samuels. Tied in from Muncie with a big play to get those penalty yards back and some.
This is a tight end that they can do so much with. They can motion him across. They can slip him out, as you just saw there. And then it's the run after the catch. And he's just been doing this time and time again. The back part of the season, inserted himself as the 3rd leading receiver right now in a loaded receiver room. That tight end has been getting it done for the DePauw Tigers.
Ballantyne 4 for 7 today, 53 yards and a touchdown. 2nd down and 5. Ballantyne hands this one off, and that'll go for a few. Whitehead right up the middle that time.
Brings up 3rd down and 3.
Whitehead met by defensive back Colin Moore, who is really known for his coverage and playing the football with 6 interceptions and 6 pass breakups on the season, but did a nice job there on 2nd down, coming up and filling the hole, being a sure tackler. Caden Whitehead approaching that line of scrimmage, looking to maybe manipulate the defense. Colin Moore was having none of it. Nice form and profile tackle by Mr. Moore.
3rd down and short, 3 yards to gain. Back to passes Ballantyne. He tries to use his legs this time. He's got the first down, slides down.
Ballantyne keeps it.
And the spot from where he started that slide just enough.
The gain is
So
good
a
for
heads-up
first
play
down.
there for the sophomore to move the sticks.
It's just making your layups. He feels the pressure get upfield. There's an open gap right in front of him. Just go take advantage of it. Don't force a throw down the field if it's not there when you can go get the first down and be just as effective.
Fortunate for Ballantyne, I felt like that spot maybe a yard short of where it should have been, and it was very close to that first down marker.
But remember, that slide is going to be marked where the hips start to drop for whoever is sliding. And the call was accurate. It still got the first down, but probably explains that shortness of the initial spot that you thought he could have gotten.
Thunder with a huge stop that time. Right at the line of scrimmage, no gain on the play.
Along with Caleb Coburn. 2nd and 10.
Coburn with the tackle on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10. Nothing doing there for Carson Johnson, the ball carrier. Time running down here on the first quarter. Ballantyne back to pass, fires way over the head of his intended receiver. That was Robbie Ballantyne. A penalty flag was thrown, and it's going to be against the offense.
Illegal formation. Too many men in the backfield on the
Illegal
ball.
formation. Offense. More than 4 in the backfield. It's a 5-yard penalty.
Something you notice when you watch this DePauw team,
That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
the comfortability for Ballantyne when he drops back to pass. I mean, he looks like he's completely unbothered back there, just completely still. Sort of has like a Cam Ward type of attitude whenever he drops back to pass.
When you beat out a junior in Anthony Garzalini as a sophomore, you probably have a lot of composure and you have a lot of gamesmanship that you're going to be trusted to compose yourself and conduct yourself as in the heat of battle.
And this time firing, and that is nearly intercepted that time by Colin Moore, the safety from Wheaton, Illinois.
Colin Moore of the Thunder. Brings up 4th down.
There's been a few interceptable balls today for both defenses, as that one was in both hands, intended for Ricciardi.
Buddy Gomez in punt formation.
So good to see him back out there.
Already gave Colin Moore his flowers, leading the team in interceptions and also PBUs, doing an outstanding job on that play, and probably was going to get his most acrobatic interception of the season, but doing a nice job with his underneath coverage playing the football.
Another punt this time for DePauw, and that one goes into the end zone.
The punt goes into the end zone for a touchback.
No question about that one, as it actually bounces into the end zone for the touchback. That'll bring it out to the 20-yard line, and that's where things will set up for Wheaton with just 27 seconds left on this first quarter.
But Landon, think about what just happened. There was a momentum shift on special teams. DePauw goes and scores their touchdown. Wheaton gets the football back. Forcucci throws an interception. That has to feel like a win if you're on the Wheaton sideline. You throw an interception, your defense stands strong. That means that turnover is negated. Now you can get back to regular scheduled programming.
Forcucci, first snap from the 20. Fires to the outside. That one going to be caught. Not much of a gain on the play, though.
With Jewett on the
Harry Pratt
catch.
with the tackle.
Harry Pratt, the defender for the Tigers.
Gain of about 3 yards. Pratt all the way from Queensland, Australia.
Gain of 4 on the play.
A lot of good tackling going on by both teams right now, especially from safeties and defensive backfield players.
It's the end of the quarter.
That'll do it for the first quarter here. It's 7-7 between DePauw and Wheaton. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
To be recognized. Fans, let's hear it for these men and women.
Back here, Blackstock Stadium here in Greencastle, Indiana. All knotted up, 7-7 in the third round of the Division III football tournament. Wheaton with the football now, 2nd down and 6. Forcucci hands this one off. Good gain right at the line of scrimmage for Kreider. Taken down by the linebacker, Owen Russell.
Landon, as we were in break, I asked about the rushing numbers for this Thunder team because I felt like they needed to get back to the run game. 6 carries for 29 yards in the first quarter for Kreider, the transfer from the University of Dayton. This is not an area that the DePauw Tigers get up some ground in, but so far Kreider has their number, as you saw with a nice healthy gain again on that 2nd down play.
3rd down and inches this time for the Thunder. And they'll hand it off up the middle. Good carry, 1st down.
On a 1st down carry.
And again, Kreider getting it done. Wheaton so far winning that rushing battle
Harry Pratt among
against a team that is not easy to gain yards on the ground against.
This is a defense in the Tigers that have held the last 23 opponents under 100 rushing yards. A week ago against the University of Wisconsin-Whitewater, just 20 yards rushing for that offense. That's first across all NCAA divisions, and what this Tigers defense is able to do defensively against the run.
Forcucci keeps it this time. He'll fire down the middle of the field, and well defended that time. Aaron Wagner.
of the Tigers.
I don't know if he got a piece of it, but he was right there on the defensive end.
Caleb Titherington was the
A double move, as you can see, Forcucci throws his shoulders on the pump fake, trying to attack the seams right down there. And instead of continuing to go into his zone, Aaron Wagner, instead, he decides at the last minute, I'm going to go play the football. Don't bail Wheaton out, allowing them to potentially go up for the football, be an initiator.
Titherington with 52 yards per game, but he's been fired toward multiple times so far in this game. As that time, it's the tight end, Riley Howard, with the reception. Had a carry earlier in the game for a 1st down. That time gets a few yards. It's 3rd down. Quick to the line this time for the Thunder. Forcucci looking left, pump fakes, now fires, open man. He's got him. That's going to go. Touchdown, Thunder. Whit Jewett. Couple of pump fakes there for Forcucci, just opens it up deep. And Jewett was all alone.
The only difference between Whit Jewett's game today and his game last week, man coverage gets Aaron Wagner looking in the backfield, is that last week against Wartburg, he had 9 catches for 113 receiving yards. He just didn't find pay dirt. That not the storyline today for Jewett. He catches the football in stride and then shows the blazing speed to cross the goal line for more points for the Thunder.
5th touchdown of the season for Jewett, and the 2nd of the day for Forcucci.
The kick is good, and the
As
score
the PAT is up and good. Wheaton leads it 14-7 on the road here in round number 3. We'll take a break. Third touchdown of the day coming from the long ball. It's 14-7. Thunder lead it here at DePauw. And, I mean, you already broke it down, but again, just a wide open play that time for Jewett. He goes 60 yards for the touchdown.
Just the quarterback and the receiver being on the same page. The route has to be matched up with the drop and the fake by the quarterback. It was spot on, got exactly the coverage that they wanted, and Jewett made the Tigers and everyone in Greencastle pay.
So they will kick off here as DePauw looks to respond, and it's a good kick back inside the 5-yard line. And a tackle right at the 20. Big hit that time.
Hayden Doran made the tackle.
Doran with the tackle that time on special teams. And we'll see if the momentum swings in Wheaton's favor. The turnover battle still 1-0 with DePauw having that interception earlier. The offense hasn't been clicking on every single drive so far, but Ballantyne has looked comfortable here for DePauw.
This is a Wheaton team that takes the special teams department seriously. Goes back to their game against Mount Union, where they were trying to mount a comeback in that fourth quarter and were actually able to recover an onside kick. Going back to last week, they blocked a field goal. This is a team that takes that special teams department serious. So when we talk about that part of the game, something that the Thunder pay attention to week in and week out.
Whitehead carries that time for 3 yards, 2nd down and 7. Ballantyne looking left, and pressure coming. Not comfortable anymore. A sack that time for Wheaton.
Tackled by Peter Johannick.
Peter Johannick gets back there and brings up 3rd down.
I've already talked about it. This is one of the best players in Wheaton football history. And the rush gets up the field, but then it's the retrace to the quarterback. Watch him. He gets up the field, and then as Ballantyne steps up, he also retraces to Ballantyne, is able to get the sack. 12.5 on the season, including that one. Mr. Johannick can flat out rush the passer and cause havoc as a defensive lineman against opposing offenses.
10 seconds on the play clock here for DePauw. 3rd down and 7. Ballantyne back to pass again. Pressure coming, and he fires middle of the field. It's caught for the 1st down across the 40-yard line. No problem that time for Frankie Ricciardi.
If you want an explosive play, you have to look Frankie Ricciardi's way. This is all he does, along of 43 on the season, 34 now receptions and 35 receptions on the season, 2 today in today's game. And you see, you cannot be scared when you play inside receiver like Frankie does. Makes him pay. Huge play for the Tigers.
Well, pressure came quickly to bring up that 3rd down. That time the ball came out quickly as it's 1st down. Carry this time up the middle, and it's a good one for about 9 yards, just short of the sticks for Carson Johnson.
This is playoff football. This is a DePauw team that's only made it to the round of 16 now for the 3rd time. This is a Wheaton team that's made it here 11 times. So this is a team that's battle-tested. And if you're DePauw, you're trying to look adversity in its eyes. And when you do that, you get the ball to guys like Carson Johnson. And in the midst of adversity, down 7 in the 2nd quarter, you just do your job.
2nd and short. Ballantyne going to take it himself. He's got a 1st down. So a couple of carries up the middle for Ballantyne so far in this game.
Colin Moore, the tackler, among others. Ball spotted at the Wheaton 45.
Got 14 yards on the ground so far. The 1st and 10 from the 45-yard line of the Thunder.
This was a 3-and-out fest for this offense to start the game. After the Thunder go and score another explosive touchdown, 60 yards, to Whit Jewett, this DePauw offense has responded emphatically and still trying to find that first connection between Scott and Robbie Ballantyne as brothers for this offense.
And Robbie, that's the 2nd time he's been targeted. That one just a little bit behind him as he jumped up for it. Could only get the one hand on it. Pressure was there. It's incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
But if you're wondering why it's so important that Robbie Ballantyne get inducted into the lineup as far as his production is because he is flirting with being the all-time leader in a lot of different categories for this DePauw team in football history.
Ball is out. Ball is out. It is scooped up this time, headed toward the end zone. Chandler Bryant, big man touchdown for Wheaton. A strip sack and a score.
He returns it for a Thunder touchdown.
Turning this game on its head, the pressure getting to Ballantyne for the second time on the drive.
I've already warned
Sideline
you.
warning
Peter
on
Johannick.
Wheaton. It's their first warning of the game.
Peter Johannick harasses opposing quarterbacks. That is now the second time that he gets credited with a sack right there. And as soon as Ballantyne was going for the throw, that's when Johannick was able to get in for the strip sack. And then Chandler Bryant, standing at 5'10", 258 pounds, shows the wheels and separates from everyone on DePaul's side.
So Wheaton makes this a two-score game with the PAT upcoming. And I mentioned how comfortable Ballantyne looked, and all of a sudden he's been taken down twice, and he's lost the football. And that time it costs the Tigers 7 points.
It's a new era for college.
21-7 here on the road for Wheaton, a big lead. We'll take a break.
They are also provided support that extends beyond the game with elevated health and well-being services and degree completion funds.
Momentum swinging play and a touchdown on the defensive side for Wheaton makes it 21-7 here at DePauw. On the ropes now in the third round of the D3 football tournament. And this is a Wheaton team that has probably given DePauw some looks and some pressure that they're not normally used to.
This is what you get in playoff football. All marbles are on the table. Who is going to better execute versus their opponent? And so far, Wheaton has the edge in that department.
Return this time to the 30-yard line for Hooper. So DePauw comes right back out here. You know, what's the mindset? You just had that huge momentum swing on the defensive end. Your DePauw coming back out here just 2 plays later. What is the mindset coming out here on the offensive end?
You just have to get back to those plays that get you back into rhythm. Flush the mistakes that have already happened. Flush the negativity that's already come with the last couple of minutes of gameplay, giving up a big touchdown of 60 yards to Whit Jewett, and then obviously giving up the strip sack into a return for a touchdown. Get back to the fundamentals of what your game plan has been and try and right this ship back in the proper direction.
Just over 9 minutes to go in the half. DePauw started with the football. Ballantyne fires to the outside. That is going to be caught. Lukowski, 7-yard reception on the play.
Defense doing an outstanding job up front for the Thunder. Defensive lineman Peter Johannick has been special today up front, getting to the quarterback pretty much whenever he wants to, and it's been in critical moments that he's been able to impact the game.
Second down and short from the 39-yard line. Ballantyne again faking the handoff, getting it to the outside. This time it is Robbie Ballantyne with the reception. He's out of bounds at about the 50-yard line. So the first reception for the brother-brother connection.
That's catch number 89 for Robbie Ballantyne. Over 1,200 yards receiving, 16 touchdowns. If you're wondering why we talked about Robbie Ballantyne on the previous possession for DePauw, that's exactly why. He's just walking history for all-time leaders in DePauw football history.
First and 10 from the 50. Ballantyne booting off to the right side, pressure coming, and he is going to take another sack. Third time in the last 2 possessions that this Wheaton defense has gotten home.
And that time it was Rex Kroger. It's always nice when you have a guy like Peter Johannick, but it always makes it even better when you have a guy like Rex Kroger. Has double-digit quarterback hits on the season. He can also get going, and that's a tandem that's already playing off of each other in this first half, and we still have plenty of time to go.
And to your point, you could see that there was extra attention to Johannick. Carson Johnson came in to double him on that play. Firing this time right at the sticks. It's going to be caught again by Robbie Ballantyne. He's got the first down.
Only needs 4 more receptions to now become the all-time leader in receptions in program history. In the same drive, he gets 2 catches, something that they haven't been able to do for a quarter and a half at this point. But if they expect to make any type of run in cracking this deficit, they're going to have to look 84's way.
So first and 10 at the 39. Getting the call here from the sideline as we approach 10 seconds left on the play clock here. Ballantyne again, play action, pressure coming, firing middle of the field, and tackled down before the ball got there, and an easy flag going to come out this time in favor of DePauw. Maybe a touchdown saving play right there, but Lukowski was taken off. Had he caught that, likely going to be 6.
First. Pass interference. Defense. Number 6. 15-yard penalty. Automatic. First down.
At the end of the day, you're not very happy if you're the coaching staff that Lukowski was that open, but at the same time, I think 15 yards is a lot better than a touchdown.
And Joseph Bracey, assuming that Lukowski had already caught the football, was going for the touchdown saving tackle, not thinking that he was going to commit the touchdown preventing penalty.
And so now it's first and 10 from the 24, firing toward the end zone again over the top. It's overthrown. Again, the intended receiver, Robbie Ballantyne.
Anytime Scott gets into a bind, he's going to look Big Brother's way, and that's a sure bet anytime you have 84 on the football field trying to get him involved. But a credit to this offense for the Tigers, remaining persistent in the midst of adversity in this game and going up 2 scores in a game that they felt like they were starting to create some rhythm and get a flow going. Now they're still looking and flirting with a potential another score to cut into this deficit.
Second and 10, handoff this time, and a nice job by the defensive line. Only a short gain on the play for Carson Johnson. And that was Johannick again.
Just to put things in perspective, it was a record set by 2008 6th-rounder NFL draft pick Andy Studebaker. That is what the record was set at. Over 50.5 TFLs is what Peter Johannick has now broken, and he did it in the regular season finale of this season for the Thunder. So that's a guy that's been around the football a lot in his career since 2022.
Firing toward the sideline again, and it is broken up on 3rd down. So that brings up 4th down, and the kicking unit going to come out. 40-yard field goal attempt coming this time.
Blanketed covers the entire time by Mason Haas, doing an outstanding job going to the bathroom with Robbie Ballantyne. Scott, little brother, was looking his way the entire time, and the defense did a nice job getting off the field, bending but not breaking.
Kick attempt this time is off the crossbar, and it bounces in for 3 points. But whistles, and did they hit him? They're pointing toward a possible first down. They being the Tigers, of course.
if this call is exactly what we think it is, this DePauw offense is going to come right back on the field if it is roughing the kicker. 15 yards, which would be an automatic first down, but all depends on the call.
Running into the kicker, number 7. That penalty declined. The result of the play, 3 points.
So it only would have been a 5-yard penalty. They decide to go with the points. And for Matthew Berry, that was a 39-yard attempt. I'm sorry, that was a 41-yard attempt. His first 40-plus make on the season. He was 0 for 1 entering the game, and he needed every bit of it to bounce that one in off the crossbar and in for 3 points to make this game 21-10.
And it couldn't have come at a better time. This offense needing something to point to give them life, as this game is still a 2-possession game, but a nice job by Berry getting that field goal to go, converting the 3 points for the Tigers as the special teams unit trot back on the field.
And actually, pardon me, Matthew Berry 0 for 1 from 40 to 49. He does have a 50-plus yard field goal. So that one goes off the crossbar just over 40 yards. He's made one that was at 50. And I just saw a snowball fly in toward the Wheaton, one of the Wheaton return men, and everybody looking toward the fans behind the end zone. Not sure about that, but either way, play will resume with the kickoff following that field goal make. It'll be caught at the 10-yard line. And this return, not going to do much, just past the 20-yard line. Looked like there was going to be a little bit of extra space that time, but DePauw able to close out on the kickoff team. So Wheaton's defense does enough to not relinquish a touchdown. Still a 2-possession game, and they can tack on some more here. Forcucci going to keep it himself this time. Pressure comes, but he gets outside of the pocket. Now just using his legs. Got plenty of room, and he's tackled from behind. And he's just short of a first down, a 9-yard carry that time for Forcucci.
Too many times quarterbacks get pressured and they're still trying to look down the field, and rightfully so. But Forcucci, he understands he breaks contain. There's no other outside defender to catch him, weaves in and out of the defense, and gets a first down on the first play of the drive.
Nice job by Luke Nolan not giving up on the play. They do actually give them enough for the first down, so it's a 10-yard carry that time and a first down, as this is a carry for Kreider. It goes for about 1.5 yards.
Coming into this game, the one recipe that has been on display when you watch the film of Wheaton is when they get pressured and it's right in the face of Forcucci and there's nowhere of contain for him to go. That is where the offense has struggled. It's against Mount Union. It's against North Central College. Both of those teams were able to generate pressure on Forcucci, not allowing him to get into his progressions down the field. The only thing that's different today is it's been the defense of the Thunder getting pressure on Scott Ballantyne, and Forcucci has been able to conduct this entire offense from a level of comfort.
Forcucci fires to his tight end outside for a couple more yards. It brings up 3rd down, and really this probably one of the more important possessions of the game. Only 4 minutes to go in this second quarter. You know that Wheaton gets the football back to start the second half, and they already have an 11-point lead. Tacking on some extra points right now would be absolutely huge.
But it just shows you that when you're able to get points in the margins, a strip sack returned for a touchdown, when you're able to generate offense like they have with explosive plays, if it's not for that strip sack, this is a 14-10 football game in credit or in way of advantage for Wheaton. But when you're able to extend the game with outside of the ordinary plays, it puts them in must-have-it situations like they're in right now, the DePauw Tigers.
3rd down and 6, and pressure comes straight up the middle. An incomplete pass that time as they were able to get it away, but it was Luke Nolan again with the quarterback hit to bring up 4th down here with 3.5 to go.
If you want to know the best pure pass rusher on the field for DePauw, you just saw him in Luke Nolan. The inside move on the offensive line, and then the speed to get to Forcucci, forcing an incompletion. Big-time stop from this defense of DePauw.
Stops the clock with 3.5 to go, so plenty of time now for DePauw to try to put up some more points after they had that field goal that just barely got in off the crossbar to make this a 21-10 game. They could be going into the locker room with a much closer score. As the punt unit ready to go here. This one gets sent away and bounces at the 25-yard line. Just going to let this one go. Maybe a mistake, as that's going to be down at the 1-yard line. And this DePauw offense going to have their work cut out for them. A 99-yard drive needed for a touchdown.
If you're inside the 10, you let the football go. Anything outside of the 10-yard line, you have to come down with that football, because you toe a line that gets you pinned back deep into your own territory when you don't come down with that, something that I know Carson Johnson would probably want back.
And Josiah Smith, kudos to him as well, just basically putting the ball where the return man wasn't, making him run for it. And I guess he just didn't feel as though he was going to be able to recover that one cleanly.
Gave the Peter signal, alerting his return blocking unit to get away from the football. And a nice job by Smith. The type of spin and trajectory that he put on that punt allowed it to bounce and go in advantage of the Thunder.
So a huge switching of the field this time. Back to pass toward the sideline. That one's going to be caught. Lukowski catches that one for a gain of about 4. Now moving quickly to the line, getting the call from the sideline is DePauw. Lukowski, 4th reception on the day. This time firing toward the sideline, and that is going to be incomplete. Samuels was the intended receiver. 3rd down and 5. Obviously, weary having the end zone behind you, but also this needs to be calculated right here. 2:45. Wheaton has 2 timeouts. That's a lot of time to leave on the clock if you're not able to pick up this 1st down. Valentine, play action, fires. That one is caught. 1st down. Lukowski again, 5th reception of the day, and he's just short of the 20-yard line.
What is the degree of difficulty that Lukowski came down with that football with? Mason Haas draped all over the receiver. That's something that's been synonymous for this defense in Mason Haas, draping all over receivers today. But that time, Lukowski got the better of him, a matchup that's been going back and forth thus far today.
Pressure coming for Valentine. He escapes the pocket and takes off himself, heading toward the sideline. He's out of bounds and possibly has that 1st down as well, depending on when he went out.
It's a phrase that you hear in the football world. It's the +1 runs, the +1 being the quarterback. Oftentimes, defenses don't always account for the quarterback in the run game, even if it's a passing situation, not because they don't think he can run the football, just because they don't feel it's enough of a threat to actually call a defense to truly defend it. That time, Valentine made them pay.
2-minute timeout here. It's 21-10. Wheaton leading it. DePauw with the football. We'll see what happens for these last 2 minutes when we come back. Back here for the third round of the Division III playoffs. Second down and a yard with 2 minutes to go here in the first half. DePauw trailing this one, but have the football. Very important possession as Wheaton gets the football at halftime. Handoff up the middle, good for a first down for
first down carry to the 33.
Carson Johnson.
And the hit by Zeke Harris.
Johnson, 5th carry of the game as they move quickly. Passing this time for Ballantyne, waving his man forward. Comes back for it.
Catch by Lukowski.
Guess who? Lukowski's been the hot hand so far in this first half for DePauw.
Understanding the play clock situation right now, instead of trying to run with his legs, gets it to a receiver who can get out of bounds a lot quicker than he probably could have if he kept it with his legs. Heads up play by sophomore quarterback Scott Ballantyne.
Huge play having the senior as well because he waves him forward. Obviously, you would think the corner drops back that time. Instead, it ends up being basically a comeback route. Comes back to the football, gets the first down. 1st and 10 this time for the 45. Ballantyne feeling pressure, trying to get away, and he cannot. Brought down in the backfield, a loss of 2 on the play.
Once again, this is a play made by defensive lineman Peter Johannick. Watch how quickly he beats offensive lineman. Can't get to the replay right now, but beat offensive lineman Aiden Bunton to the quarterback so quickly that only Carson Johnson could come over and help in pass protection, and even that wasn't enough.
Tigers trying to be quick on that play, but a flag comes in.
Just completely deposits Carson Johnson into the lap of Ballantyne. He doesn't get credited with the sack, but he definitely gets the hockey assist because he set it up for the rest of his team to rally for it.
Before the snap, we have timeout. Wheaton, their second of the half. Please set the game clock to 1:22. 1:22.
And so on that one, DePauw trying to move quickly, but Wheaton able to get the timeout prior to the play. Apparently, Coach Jesse Scott did not like the speed in which this DePauw team was starting to operate following the sack. By the way, you mentioned the offensive coordinator for DePauw. Both of the coaching units for both of these teams, fantastic. For DePauw, you know, it's been 5 years that they've gone to the tournament. Or it's been 6 years. They've gone to the tournament 5 times, only 7 times as a school. So I think that's been pretty successful. And then for Jesse Scott leading this team, 47-11, his record in 6 seasons with this Wheaton Thunder team as well.
Well, these are 2 head coaches that got hired essentially at the same time. They've had the same amount of tenure as the head coach for their respective clubs. And for Jesse Scott, that is an All-American offensive lineman who played right tackle going back to 2008 in his senior year. Someone that understands what it means to be a Wheaton football Thunder teammate and community member. So that's someone that takes the job very seriously, and you can see it from his passion on the sidelines.
Ballantyne drops back and once again hits Lukowski. It'll be 3rd down and 2. Clock stops that time with 1:17 to go.
Gain is to the Wheaton 47, and it's 3rd and 2.
Third and 2. Plenty of time. And still 3 timeouts left for the Tigers. Play clock down to 10. Ballantyne back to pass, looking toward the right side. Lukowski lays out for it, could not make the grab.
Hands of Lukowski incomplete.
Just out in front that time.
Mason Haas
Would have taken a stupendous grab.
brings up 4th down.
Some pressure in the face that time for Ballantyne, able to get an arm on it. But now 4th down and 2. And DePauw bringing the punt team out. This is probably one of those 50-50 calls just based on where the football is and understanding the situation.
Hogan is the punt returner.
If you're wondering why head coach Jesse Scott took that timeout when he did, 2nd and long, obvious passing situations, banking on his defense, forcing some incompletions. That timeout was taken at 1:21 on the clock, as you can see now. Still over a minute times left to go in this 2nd quarter. A lot of real estate in front of his offense, but also an offense that's been clicking on all cylinders when it comes to explosion. Plenty of time to do so.
And a disaster of a punt that time as it goes out of bounds and just to the 34-yard line. So only about a 16, 17-yard punt on that play. So now working with one timeout, the Thunder have the football, 1st and 10 at the 34. And they will hand the rock off right up the middle. And that is going to be
Gain of 9.
short of the 1st down, 2nd down and 1.
The hit by Nathan Creed for the Tigers.
Great run by Malachi Jones on 1st down. We've seen a healthy dose of Matt Kreider. Now Jones getting his opportunity and makes do with it. A nice gain of 9 yards on 1st down.
Play action this time, stepping up, going to take off across the 50-yard line, sliding down. Clock will stop with 32 seconds to go. And that 1st down likely going to change things with how Wheaton was going to approach this possession. A quick spike with 30 seconds to go and some hand fighting around the line of scrimmage that time after the play.
Once again, Mark Fercucci not wanting to force the issue downfield, understanding a lot more real estate, still have a timeout at his disposal, and decides to put his head down and get the 1st down with his legs, and then comes right back after and spikes it, still in good position near midfield, and 30 seconds to go in this 2nd quarter.
Not somebody who runs a ton, but he does have 45 attempts entering today. Has the capability of getting outside the pocket and making a play as he did right there. 30 seconds to go. 1st down, 2nd down and 10. And now firing down the field, and that is caught just inside the 10-yard line. A huge play that time as it was Titherington with the catch.
One of the best things that this offense does is layer their route concepts. As Fercucci rolls out to his right, there was an underneath option, and then there was an over-the-top option, puts the defense in a tough position, and obviously Caleb Titherington has been doing that all day as he's come down with practically every football thrown his way, and that one being the most important one. Still only 22 seconds left to go, 8 seconds that it took to strike and get down underneath the 10-yard line for the Thunder.
Able to get out of bounds, going outside, intended for the tight end. Howard can't come away with it. That one off the mark. Be 2nd down and goal with just under 18 seconds to go.
Riley Howard probably kicking himself on that one. As you saw his reaction, couldn't quite track the football as Jaden Miller was frantically dropping into the back of the end zone, got in his eyesight and vision just long enough to force the incompletion.
.13 seconds on the play clock, 2nd down and goal from the 8-yard line. Now back to pass, pump fake, and just firing that one out of bounds. Had a man, but decided to save some clock instead.
I don't think Fercucci anticipated Whit Jewett being that open when he broke outside on his route near the sideline, and predetermined once he got to the back of his drop with pressure coming, it was best to just lob it out of bounds.
And with 13 and a half, 1 timeout and 3rd and 8, you're not really too worried about the clock at this point. You know you've basically got those 2 plays. And a timeout going to be called. And so Wheaton uses that timeout.
Timeout, Wheaton. Their 3rd and final. Timeout and a half.
By the way, just talking about Riley Howard, certainly not your typical type of a build for a tight end. 5'9", 226 pounds. He is a stocky guy, presumably in for that blocking game as well. Typically the backup getting the starting gig today, but he has made a couple of plays. He's got a grab. He had a run for a first down as well. Just wasn't open on that, or he was open, just not really a great ball to him in the end zone on that last play.
But doing it by committee in that tight end position room has to be the case with starter and star out and Ben Juska. The graduate student has been a steady presence at wide receiver for this Thunder offense. The second most receiving touchdowns on the season with 8. 3 separate games that Juska has had with 2 touchdowns apiece. Illinois Wesleyan, Carthage, and Crown. And then against Carroll, he had 10 catches, 125 receiving in that game against them. So this is a guy that cannot be replaced with one guy. So when you're trying to fulfill and take up the slack with Juska not being in the lineup, every little bit that you get, you're going to kick yourself because you know had number 18 been in the lineup, that would have been a play he made.
Likely a passing play here, 3rd down and 8. Forcucci so far has hit 4 different targets in this game. He's got 2 passing touchdowns to his name as well. Wheaton gets the ball for the second half, firing toward the end zone, and it is caught. There he is, Riley Howard with the touchdown grab. We talked about him in a big moment. The backup turned starter with a huge play, maybe the biggest play so far in this game as it extends the lead with 8.6 seconds left in the first half.
But it was the eyes of Forcucci looking over to his left, buying his tight end some time to run that dig route, that basic across the middle of the end zone, and an outstanding job by Riley Howard getting a second opportunity and making the most of it.
Talk about making a statement. Wheaton leading this road game 28-10. As they're ready to get into that halftime locker room, they know they've got the football coming back as well to try to extend it even further. We've still got 1 kickoff left, though. See what happens, see if DePauw can make anything crazy happen going into half. But that is the 3rd reception of the day for Howard. He's a short yardage guy. He's got 16 yards and a touchdown to his name. Kortenhoven throughout the season has been one of the main targets. He's got 2 grabs today for 50 yards and a touchdown. Jewett, 64 yards and a touchdown, and then 61 yards for Titherington. Forcucci, 10 for 19, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 191 yards. A big first half for this Wheaton Thunder football team.
We talk about the margins and getting a touchdown in an unconventional way. A strip sack and defensive line returns it for a touchdown. That explains 7 points. And then you talk about the clock management of head coach Jesse Scott, being able to call timeout after a first down loss that forced 2nd and long, banking on DePauw, passing the football, getting incompletions, his defense in the secondary rallying to the football. That's a check. And then you talk about a drive that goes down the length of the field and you get in for another score. Those are the plays that tell the story of why Wheaton in this first half has broken the back of the Tigers.
Squib kick this time goes to the 30-yard line. 5 seconds left on the half.
Not to mention, this is a Wheaton offense that is scoring almost 47 points per game. And they've also scored over 60 points in 5 different games. So 28 points is just an appetizer into the full potential of what this offense can do.
And kudos to the rushing game as well. Kreider, 25 yards for Forcucci, 24 in his own right. But that's one thing that I think has to be a talked about note in this game is the fact that they've been able to run the football with success. And it's opened up the passing game so nicely. A couple of huge deep balls, obviously firing middle of the field, short yardage. But as we go to halftime, the Thunder lead it 28-10 over the DePauw Tigers. Don't go anywhere. I'm sure we've got a great second half ahead of us. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break, and we'll be back with second half action. Welcome back, Blackstock Stadium here in Greencastle, Indiana, where it is Wheaton leading DePauw 28-10 in a game where, you know, it was kind of back and forth. Wheaton seemed like they had the upper hand at the beginning, but then everything changed on a scoop and score that made this a two-possession ball game, and Wheaton hasn't looked back since that point.
This is a game that has been, so far in that first half, one in the trenches for this Wheaton football team. It's been their defensive line hounding the offensive line of DePauw. The separation being Peter Johannick has been Rex Kroger, and the ability to rush the passer and put so much pressure on DePauw that I really feel like the one separator in this game thus far was the strip sack from Peter Johannick that eventually was returned for a touchdown. That is what truly separated this football game and put it out of reach in that first half between these two ball clubs. So a huge credit to that defensive front from the Thunder doing their job, getting to the quarterback often in that first half.
This being the D3 tournament, everybody headed for the Stag Bowl in Canton, Ohio. Not the only game going on. On the other side of this game for the quarterfinal, the winner of this game takes on the winner of St. John's and UW River Falls. That game right now about a minute into the second quarter, and River Falls leading 14-7 over St. John's. And so, again, the winner of that game going to take on the winner of this one. Obviously, DePauw right now in a bit of a hole, down by 18 points. But at the same time, what is it that this team needs to do, Jared, in order to come back into this ballgame?
You saw in that first quarter 3 straight plays to open the game, run plays, trying to establish their identity, trying to establish the tone of this football game by running the football. They went 3 and out, and then they followed up the next drive going 3 and out again. You have a plan that you want to execute. They weren't able to do that. They've since had to switch that, now becoming one-dimensional, getting away from the run game, aside from some splash plays from Carson Johnson. So you just really look for them to reestablish what it is they want this game's identity to be, and if that's going to be complementary between their run game and their pass game, because one thing that they cannot do is allow this defensive line from the Thunder to continue to get to Scott Ballantyne like they did in that first half.
Stadium PA announcer giving a warning about throwing snowballs. We talked about it being about freezing temperatures here. It did snow in Indiana about a week ago. That's still on the ground, and mentioned that there may have been a snowball or two flying through the air in that first half, but a warning being assessed to the fans and students here at DePauw. But right now you talked about the rushing game. Johnson, 5 carries. Whitehead also 5 carries so far in this game. It hasn't really been as successful on the ground. On the other side, Wheaton has done a nice job running the football. They will start off with the ball here. As this one kicked off, we're ready for the second half. First return going to be at the 10-yard line. And it'll get to just past the 25. Some extracurricular just away from where that tackle was made. So Wheaton brings their offense back out here. What has been the best part of this Wheaton attack?
They've been just so multiple. They've gotten Riley Howard involved, the backup tight end, to Ben Jessica, who's not in the lineup today. They've been able to utilize Matt Kreider in the way that he's been able to carve up and be a serviceable running back in this offense. And then for Mark Forcucci, finding his receivers, specifically Caleb Titherington, doing a nice job in the pass game as well.
Forcucci fires, finds his receiver, Kortenhoven, who's got a first down and a little bit more on the first play here in the second half.
It's amazing with the success that Kortenhoven has had this season. This isn't even considered his best season. It was going back to his sophomore year when he had 58 receptions, 927 receiving yards, and 10 touchdowns. Only about 875 at the start of this game in this season, but their best receiver not getting much activity until that pass you just saw a bit ago.
Back-to-back completions, back-to-back first downs. This time it's Titherington who makes the grab. And they are already across midfield in just 2 plays here in the first drive of the second half.
This is an offense in the Thunder that like to get in a lot of empty sets, but when they're running the football, when they want to give the illusion that they're playing on a play-action fake or they're looking to run the football to manipulate secondary defenders, this is what they do. So this is an offense that hasn't even had to go to their empty sets because everything else has been working so well.
Forcucci firing again toward the sideline. That is once again caught by Caleb Titherington. And 3 plays, 3 first downs now.
Exactly how they started the game. They get the stop, 3 and out. Their defense gets the ball back to them, and they go right down the field in similar fashion. What does that exactly mean? This just means that the offense, the defense, the entire team under Jesse Scott's lead is able to recalibrate at halftime, come back out, and reestablish that rhythm, potentially go back to those sequence of plays that you opened up the contest with and get right back on track.
1st and 10 from the 31-yard line, and it's a carry up the middle, breaking free this time, headed toward the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Huge rushing play that time for Matt Kreider. As soon as he broke to the outside, Forcucci knew it. He was celebrating, and that is a quick strike by the Wheaton offense.
This play was made by 2 players. Tight end Riley Howard and left guard JT Nichols. Riley Howard just behind, gets a huge block on the double team, and then Nichols comes across for the kick out, and then you allow one of your best players, your running back, to do the rest. Matt Kreider in back-to-back weeks is able to find pay dirt on the ground. Outstanding job opening the 3rd quarter just like they did at the start for the Thunder of Wheaton.
How big has Howard been filling in that role? The senior coming in and doing exactly what's asked of him so far. A big block, a big first down on the rushing attack, and 3 receptions and a touchdown already today. Welcome to the starting lineup, young fella. This is the playoffs.
It goes back to what my position coach used to tell me at Northwestern. You want to be seen, not heard. Riley Howard has been seen a lot today and not heard because he's that much of an impact player today, blocking, catching the football, and then obviously escorting his teammates for celebrations into the end zone.
How about Matt Kreider so far in this game? 8 rushes, 56 yards, and a touchdown to his name in this one. You mentioned the 100-yard rushers. Well, that's a big chunk where he might be headed toward snapping that streak of under 100-yard rushing for the defense of DePauw.
Not to mention, Matt Kreider has only gone over 100 yards rushing this season 1 time, and that came against WashU in the middle part of the season, going 18 carries for 101 rushing yards. This is not an offense that always needs him to do damage on the ground, but when they get it, boy, are they welcoming it with open arms.
35-10 ball game here. Mateo Jesk ready to put boot to leather here. And we'll see if the DePauw offense can keep this one from getting away from them. 25-point deficit for this offense. Be returned at about the 12. And Hooper gets across the 20-yard line. And you have to assume, obviously, a ton of football left with 13 minutes left in this 3rd quarter. But there has to be some sense of urgency looking at the scoreboard moving forward here for DePauw.
And the downside right now for the Tigers, you've established the run game in the last few weeks of the season. You haven't been able to run the ball as consistently as you want. Why? Because when you're down multiple scores, running the football does not equate to efficient offense while also saving yourself some time. So you have to pass the football, and that's just played into the hands of this defensive line up front for the Thunder.
And we get play action on the first play, and it's a wide open receiver for the first down already across the 50-yard line on the first pass of the drive. It's Riccardi.
And what do when they're pressuring so much and getting to your quarterback? You move the pocket. You force the defensive line to come to balance without having their ears just pinned back, assaulting and going after the quarterback. Nice job on the opening play for this offense from the DePauw Tigers.
1st and 10 from the 47-yard line as they'll be firing middle of the field. That one is caught. Robbie Ballantyne, he'll move the sticks on that play.
A lot of times the run past options, the read is on the backside, gets the read, sees exactly what he wants, and then is able to rip a dart to brother and Robbie Ballantyne. Nice job of executing there on back-to-back first downs from the Tigers.
It's a 30-yard play on first down and another first on the second play. It seems like defense optional for both teams right now to start the second half. 1st and 10 from the 36, a run play. This one goes up the middle, and that is good for a first down as well for Caden Whitehead. Hadn't heard his name in a while, as he'll be subbed out for Carson Johnson here, 1st and 10 inside the 25.
Only 11 yards rushing on the ground for Caden Whitehead in that first half. Gets almost the same exact amount on that first down carry.
Ballantyne back to pass. Pocket collapse, look to take off, and he's able to scamper for a couple.
Just to give an idea to everyone watching the impact that Caden Whitehead has had in the run game, the first 5 games of the season, he scored 5 touchdowns, but 3 of them came in the opening game of the season against Rose-Hulman when he had 3 of those. In the last 5 games, he scored at least a touchdown in every single game. So his productivity has gone up just in the back part of this season, just not been able to work or ride his coattail today as much as they would have liked.
2nd down and 7. The carry this time for Johnson goes for a yard before he's brought down quickly, and he was hit hard on that play. This defensive line has been both good in the pass rush department and the run stopping as well throughout this game.
And just watching tape on this Wheaton team, a lot of times when they've been gashed as a rush defense, it's been because offensive lines and blockers for opposing teams have been getting up to their linebackers. But you don't have that problem when your defensive line is doing most of the brunt work and carrying when it comes to getting tackles and wreaking havoc in the backfield, as we see another splash play by the defense.
And Ballantyne was looking over toward the tight end, Palmer Samuels. It looked like it was going to be a screenplay on that one, but the edges collapsed. And just getting a hand on the football that time was Zeke Harris. That's going to bring up 4th down, and this is 4th down territory for the Tigers, understanding the score and situation. Rush is coming, and Ballantyne wrapped up, taken down, back at the original line of scrimmage. And Zeke Harris going to get the stop. It's going to be a turnover on downs.
If you dialed up a pressure from Zeke Harris on the previous play and he got a tipped pass, why not do it again? The same exact pressure gets him one-on-one in pass protection with Carson Johnson. He blows him up, sheds the blocker, and then goes and gets the sack. The team's leading tackler with over 100 on the season, 105 specifically coming up huge, getting that one stop that they needed on 4th down, getting the football back to their offense.
And the pressure has consistently come in whenever this Wheaton team needed it most. You have to assume that that needed to be a football that came out immediately and just taking too much time in the pocket. As the run play this time somehow squirts forward for another 5-yard gain for Kreider. Seemed like he was going to be tackled down at the line of scrimmage, and he just kind of filed his way through.
But going back to your point about the football needing to come out from Scott Ballantyne, if you're pressuring and you're playing man coverage on the back end and there's not much wiggle room to really manipulate the defense to get the football to your receivers, it will contribute to that quarterback holding on to the football a little bit longer, and that's when pressure begins to break pipes, as we saw on that 4th down play.
Be a 4-yard gain for Kreider, 2nd down and 6. For this Wheaton offense, just went straight down the field and scored. Now Kreider again. The marginal gain brings up 3rd down and short.
But it's been chunk plays for this offense. And then they come back to the workhorse in the backfield and Matt Kreider, and they just get 4 and 5 yards a pop. So you are explosive on the perimeter, getting it to your receivers. 30 yards, 24 yards, 60 yards. These are splash plays that you get on the perimeter with your offense, and then you can come right back and get 4 and 5 yards a pop from your running back. That's an offense of efficiently operating from the controls.
And the ball came out, it looked like, on that play. Everybody on the DePauw defense pointing, and yes, that is going to be recovered by the Tigers. A huge defensive play on that one.
The ruling on the field is a fumble. Recovered by DePauw. First down, DePauw.
He gets nasty in there in the middle. Can't see, maybe Owen Rossell that gets in and pops right there. He's able to pop the ball carrier in the backfield, Riley Howard, that was carrying the football. We sang his praises in the first half, but that time gets met by Owen Rossell in the backfield, and Rossell makes him pay.
By the way, too, important to mention, Thomas Grupner, a wide receiver from California, was in at quarterback on that play, leading up to the fumble. But now 1st and 10 for DePauw. And firing up the middle of the field, that is caught. Once again, finding the tight end Samuels, middle of the field, first down. Now back into the red zone at the 11-yard line.
Palmer Samuel's presence has really crystallized for the Tigers. Once he played that game against John Carroll, was able to go for 5 catches, 105 through the air, and 2 touchdowns. And ever since then, he's been a steady contributor.
Ballantyne again drops back to pass, fires. And that one is going to be caught by Evan Pitzer. His first reception of the day.
71 for DePauw. Must leave the game for one play for his helmet coming off.
Yeah, so the center, Zach Kerr, lost his cap that time, and so Kaiser Beeman going to have to come into the football game for at least one play. So Pitzer checks out. Ricciardi comes back into the football game for this DePauw offense. Important to note, haven't heard a ton from Robbie Ballantyne, top of your screen. As this time play action, pressure comes straight through the middle. And another big sack. Caleb Coburn comes straight through the line and comes away with a big tackle in the backfield. 3rd down and long coming up.
Now his 2nd sack of the game. Zeke Harris doing a nice job taking one of the offensive linemen with him, paving the way for Coburn to go make this DePauw offense pay. Gets a 2nd sack of the game. Once again, this defense just being so timely in their efforts to get stops and big plays.
3rd and 13 following the sack. There's about a yard or two between the first down marker and the end zone. Ballantyne dropping back, steps up in the pocket, pump fakes for a moment. Now it's caught, and that is right around that first down marker. Looks to be just a little bit short. Leighton Lukowski once again, now with his 8th reception of the day, has a touchdown to his name as well.
Talk about being under duress. Even right here, it seems like Ballantyne is going to get popped by this defense and is able to still probe just long enough to find Lukowski for what was a big-time game.
4th down and 1, and again, a first down marker right between the line of scrimmage in the end zone, just about bisecting it perfectly. You could run the football if you needed to. 4 seconds on the clock. Needing to get the snap off here quickly. And they're just going to have to take a timeout. DePauw taking too much time. And so with 5.5 to go in the 3rd period, DePauw burns that first timeout.
Officials Apparel and Wilson Sporting Goods for their support of NCAA championships. Their contributions help enhance the educational and athletic experience of nearly 500,000 NCAA student athletes.
4th down. This is an absolutely massive possession, obviously. Ballantyne, seems like the pressure really coming from the outside edges. Is it possible they try to go just run the football?
In the 4th quarter, it's tied John Carroll and Mount Union at 7 apiece.
You got me there. You got me there only because it feels like their season is hanging in the balance right now. You're down 25 points. You need more than just conversions. You need touchdowns. You need two-point conversions. You need onside kicks. You need all of that, what seems like right now, because the Thunder of Wheaton don't show any signs of slowing down. But to put the game in the hands of your offensive line when that's been a weaker point of the game for you seems to be an interesting way to go about it. But I'm all for it to run the football in this point of this point in time of the game. But this is a big play coming out, a big play. But I always think in these moments it's nice to be multi-layered in how you attack. You can't just say, hey, we're going to just run the football, because it leaves you no way to get yourself out of trouble if things were to go awry on this one particular play, especially with these plays meaning so much more than just a fourth down attempt with 5:38 to go in the third quarter.
4th and short for the Tigers.
Well, we'll see what happens here. 4th down and 1, and it is going to be a boot out to the right side. Pressure coming, and Ballantyne goes down again. Zeke Harris makes the tackle, and it's going to be another turnover on downs. Even more importantly, it's also going to free up the offense as Wheaton comes back out here, because they're not going to be backed up into their own end zone.
It's twofold, exactly like you said. I just think this is a part of Scott Ballantyne's game that he has to get out of. He's holding on to the football for entirely too long. In critical moments, back-to-back 4th downs, it's Zeke Harris that gets to the quarterback, that gets the sack. But at some point in time, a decision has to be made. You got exactly what you wanted, multiple options to get to. You can't have analysis of paralysis and not get the football out of your hands. They don't, and Wheaton takes advantage.
So instead of 1st and 10 from about the 3-yard line, it started off at the 13-yard line. And the ball is out again, and DePauw has recovered.
Ball is recovered by the Tigers.
So just when you think a major moment has occurred with the turnover on downs, a second fumble.
The ruling on the field is a fumble. Recovered by DePauw. Be first down, DePauw.
And so they start back up again at the 21-yard line.
That's an outstanding job right there from this defense, just staying with it. Outstanding job. Can't say more than enough praise for this defense, just rallying to the football, finding a way to strip it right there at the end as Kreider was going down to the ground. That's a big-time play from that defense, finding a way to get the football back to their offense. And that's Nathan Creed doing an outstanding job, getting in there, ripping that football loose from Kreider as he was trying to go ahead for more yards.
So once again, around that red zone, 1st and 10 for DePauw. And they will hand this one off up the middle. And Whitehead will get 4 yards. So 2nd down and 6 inside the red zone now for this DePauw offense, who needs to put up some points in a hurry. We're already down to 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Again, handing the football off, trying to squeeze between that offensive line, and Carson Johnson really just couldn't find any space. Maybe trying to catch this Wheaton defense off guard, knowing, like you mentioned, you're in a position where everybody thinks that you're going to be passing on each play because of the clock. They'd run it 2 times in a row. The first one gets a few yards, but that one, nothing doing.
Nice job by this defense. Sudden change now in back-to-back possessions where you're on the football field a lot quicker than you anticipated being, but they've responded boldly each time.
So Ballantyne fires sideline. That one swiped away. And that is a great defensive play. We've mentioned it before. Joseph Bracey, again, making another play. The senior has been everywhere.
Blanketed coverage the entire day. You see it right there playing through the hands of Leighton Lukowski, essentially ran the route for him. Bracey has been every single destination that his receiver lined up across from him has been trying to get to.
So again, brings up 4th down. The last 2 possessions, they have turned the ball over on downs. Ballantyne drops back to pass this time. Looking, firing, middle of the field, broken up, intercepted. Picked off this time. Colin Moore with the return out of bounds. And that is a huge play right there off the deflection. So not just a turnover on downs, a turnover on the interception, and Wheaton will take over.
7th interception of the season for Colin Moore, and it's the 2nd effort. Plays the football, gets the PBU, and then intercepts it with his left arm and hand alone. Watch it right here at the end. Gets the pass deflection right there, and then hauls it in with just the left hand. That's an outstanding acrobatic catch by Colin Moore, being a elder statesman in that defensive back room for his Thunder teammates.
Well, we talked about how, especially in that first quarter, a lot of deflected passes seemed like if that went in the right spot, could have been intercepted. Well, that time you see it, as it's a rushing play up the middle that time for 5 yards. Kreider continues to hammer this defensive line, but Wheaton on the other side has turned the ball over on their last 2 possessions via the fumble. Kreider had one of those. Howard was the other. So 2nd down and 6 here from the 20-yard line. Ferrucci fakes the handoff this time. He will fire toward the sticks, and that is enough for a 1st down. Titherington again with the reception.
If you're watching this game and trying to conceptualize how DePauw is down 25 points and they've created 3 turnovers, it's because this defense for the Thunder has shown up in a massive effort today. Each time that offense has turned the football over, all they've done is give the football right back to them with no blemishes on the scoreboard for any points for that DePauw offense. Great job by that defense here today. Mikey Swider doing an outstanding job, 2nd year as the defensive coordinator and linebackers coach, on staff for 6 seasons, only being hired in January 2024. He has those guys flying around in what is the most important game of their season.
Kreider with the 2-yard carry, but also, to your point, on the flip side of that, Wheaton with an opportunity. This is their 3rd time getting the football off of a turnover because the defense has done so well. They have an opportunity to put some points on the board after the turnover.
Absolutely, and the first part of your thing is at face value. They still have a 25-point lead, although they've been unable to take advantage of the ball getting back into their possession after their defense stops the opposing offense in DePauw. But the other part of it is when you take a look at this film, as I'm sure Coach Jesse Scott will do, he's going to find things that they can get better at. Number 1, it's going to be protection of the football. Number 2, it's going to be taking advantage of opportunities to really step on a team's neck when you have them in peril. And right now they do have them in peril. Now it's about executing. They haven't in back-to-back possessions. That story's still being written.
And a big shot, and that one caught. Snatched out of the air that time. That's Kortenhoven again. Just goes over the top on the deep ball. You said putting on the throat, putting it on the throat. And that is going to be a huge 1st down catch right there.
Transferred in earlier in his career from Coastal Carolina, the big-time receiver going up and high-pointing the football. And as I've already mentioned, this is a guy that missed some time last year due to injury. His best season coming 2 years ago. But this year, all he's done is lead from the front as the receiver and the leading one for this Thunder team.
So a huge 1st down, and now the ball spotted at the DePauw 29-yard line, 1st and 10. And now back to pass again, trying to get to the outside as the pressure was coming, and just going out of bounds after a loss, I believe, of a yard or 2. And that will likely be the last play of this 3rd quarter unless they want to push the issue here on 2nd down and 12. I'm sure that they will not be doing that with just 20 seconds left on the clock right here. Kortenhoven, by the way, over 100 yards receiving now, 4 catches for 106 yards. That's a 26 4.5 yard per catch average right now for him. He's been stupendous, a huge help to this offense.
It's the end of the quarter.
And with that, 35-10, the score. Wheaton leads it at DePauw. We're going to take a final break here as we head toward the fourth quarter.
Share the experience and excitement of another NCAA.
Back here for the fourth quarter, 35-10, your score. Wheaton leading this one right now. And if they are able to finish this game off, it is halftime now in the game between UW River Falls and St. John's. River Falls leading that one 14-7 with 2 seconds left to go in the second quarter. So we'll keep a monitor on that to see who the winner of this game will be going up against. But right now, Wheaton already across midfield after a huge play to the big receiver, Seth Kortenhoven. And now second down and 12. Here to begin quarter number 4, back to pass. Pressure coming, and that will be a sack, a loss of a yard on the play to bring up third down. And once again, that is Nathan Creed. You mentioned his name earlier in that third quarter.
Forced that second fumble of back-to-back fumbles for this defense, doing an outstanding job on that one, continuing to retrace to the quarterback as Forcucci tried to get outside of the contain of the pocket.
So it's third down, 13 from the 29-yard line of the Tigers. Wheaton has been no stranger to major chunk plays, though. They've been able to pick up some significant yards through the air when they've needed to. And a whistle.
Delay of game. Offense. Number 5. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
And making matters worse with a 5-yard penalty there for the delay of game. Talk about keeping the pressure on. Well, the defense doing a nice job here from DePauw following that huge play. And now a situation where it's third and very long, 3rd and 18. DePauw showing pressure. Forcucci drops back, steps up in the pocket, fires, and that is an overthrow as he had to jump up to fire that one off, and it's going to be fourth down. And the offense is staying out there for now.
Fourth down.
And so with 4th and 18 going for it. Looking toward the sideline for the call. Maybe just trying to run the clock down. We'll have to see if they even snap it here. 2 seconds now, and they will not. Just trying to make some space.
Delay of game. Offense. Number 5. 5-yard penalty. Fourth down.
Defense does its job that time. They are going to force the punt here, fourth down. And you might even like a little bit more space, still well across that 50-yard line.
Josiah Smith in punt formation for Wheaton. The Tiger punt
Smith
returner
back
is
to punt.
Carson Johnson.
And whistles
Delay of game.
for another delay.
49. Offense. 5-yard penalty. 4th down.
While you're down here on the plus side of the 50, you might as well take advantage of as much traveling backwards as you can just to pin DePauw back even more, not bailing them out with sailing it into the end zone, allowing them to set up in some nice field position on their next drive.
And I think that one might have made some contact with a player as it will trickle out of bounds. It does get across the 20-yard line, though. So the field position about 2 yards worse than it would have been had it been a touchback. So a lot of time taken off the clock. One thing I've always wondered, you know, the clock was stopped for that last delay of game. Just false start. Somebody just move. You know, we have to sit here, watch it for 20 seconds as the clock ran down. But instead, it's going to be the ball spotted at the 19-yard line for the DePauw offense, who needs to get things going basically immediately. They have turned the ball over on downs twice, and then the interception on the last possession as Ballantyne completes that one to Lukowski.
He steps out of bounds at the 26. Haas was the defender.
Lukowski in this game, 9 receptions. Ballantyne back to pass, fires again. Lukowski breaks a tackle. He's at the 40.
Lukowski on the catch. Across the 40.
Frustrated that he went down there.
Tackle by Caleb Coburn.
Bit of a shoestring tackle that time. But 10 catches, and Lukowski should be over 100 yards now on the game.
The last time Lukowski had over 100 yards, it was against Kenyon College, where he had 10 catches for 135 receiving yards and a couple of touchdowns. But that effort not available on that last play offensively, as that defensive line getting to Scott Ballantyne once again.
Yeah, everywhere Ballantyne seemed to look to run, those lanes closed quickly, and then Rex Kroger came in to clean it up. Assisted there by Johannick. Second down and 16 following the sack. 3-man rush this time, still getting through. Ballantyne able to get outside the pocket, fire. That one going to be short of the intended receiver. I think the fans wanted a flag on that one, but no call. Ball certainly outside of the reach of Ricciardi.
Brings up 3rd down.
Once again, that pressure getting to Scott Ballantyne in the pocket, not even allowing him to set up and try and find who's open down the field, allowing the routes to actually progress. He has to get flushed out of the pocket time and time again. This offensive line not giving him much help in this second half, or really the entire game for that matter.
Now firing this time, and that is caught
Pass is completed by Palmer
right
Samuels.
at the sticks, and that's going to be a 1st down. Palmer Samuels comes away with a big grab that time and a tough catch for the tight end.
Luca Torti on the defense.
Palmer Samuels coming in nicely for his quarterback. Tight end's always an outlet valve for the quarterback in timely situations. That connection true on that play.
And that one just jumped and intercepted on the play.
Colin Moore of Wheaton.
Tried to go to Frankie Ricciardi. Instead, Moore comes away with the interception.
In the 4th quarter with 2 minutes remaining.
The only thing I'll say for Scott Ballantyne is his throwing motion takes a little bit more time than that of a different quarterback. Guys that you see with a more high-pointed throwing motion, watch this kind of gets wound up from below. And so when that timing is off, when Ricciardi is coming out of his break, if that ball is not thrown right then and there, that's when guys like Colin Moore can come in and intercept it and get his 8th of the season.
It was also just kind of lofted, so he was able to get in position and make that play as well. But that is interception number 3 on the game.
Matt Kreider.
Keep in mind, in the last 5 games for Scott Ballantyne, he's thrown 17 touchdown passes and only 3 interceptions. 2 interceptions here today. Just shows you what pressure and a nice, formidable secondary can do to you for a young quarterback trying to find his weapons down the field.
2nd down and 8 coming up here as the defense trying to get the fans into it here. The DePauw defense has done pretty much exactly what they needed to do, obviously giving up that touchdown on the opening drive, but they've done a nice job of getting the ball back in the hands of the offense. It's just this defense from Wheaton that's also been playing so well. Broken tackle that time for Kreider at the line of scrimmage, and he's got a 1st down.
Already mentioned the statistic of 23 straight opponents not being able to rush for over 100 yards. That was already broken by this Wheaton team in the 3rd quarter. But Matt Kreider, by his lonesome, may be able to go over 100 yards by himself. That's how good he's been on the ground today. Huge credit to the big boys up front, paving the way for him.
Yeah, he's right at that number. Waiting for that last rush to update on there. But it is 1st and 10 from the 41-yard line. And they will carry with Kreider this time. He's got a 1st down, and that's certainly going to get him across the century mark in the rushing game. He's out of bounds, 1st down across the 50-yard line for Kreider.
The tackle by Blake Cole for the Tigers.
This offensive attack has just had this defense, the Ryan McElwain defensive coordinator for DePauw, on its heels all day long, probably expecting more of a passing attack by way of an empty set in the backfield with just the lone quarterback with no running back. Wide receivers motioned out to the wide side and short side of the field, allowing this defensive secondary to potentially get into some disguises and being able to play the coverage game. But that was not what was in the cards for the Thunder. They instead went on the attack in the run game, and that opened up the pass game in a different way, something that you really haven't seen much from this Thunder bunch offensively this year.
More from the run game this time.
A 9-yard gain.
As that one's taken for a gain of 9 yards. That was Malachi Jones, the sophomore, with the carry. Brings up 2nd down and 1. Coach making a late change here with 5 seconds to go on the play clock, using every bit of that clock as they carry this one up the middle again.
Malachi Jones.
And again, it is Jones.
That's a 1st and 10.
Shifty sophomore that we don't see very often for this Wheaton team.
If you heard head coach Jesse Scott yelling someone's name, he was talking to Riley Howard in the backfield, trying to get his alignment more into the backfield, and that's exactly what he was able to get Riley to do. And it was his lead block up on Tariq Jimo Oyashigi that sprung Jones free for that 1st down run.
Under 8 minutes to play here. 1st and 10 from the 26. As this run, huge space this time, right side, and finally taken down at the 10-yard line for Jones. Coming into the game, and it doesn't look any different. That's got to feel good as Wheaton continues with this rushing attack that has been so successful today, knowing we can put in somebody else, we can kind of plug and play with the run game, and it has worked out well.
But for DePauw, when you've been so stout against the run for what feels like the entire season, the last 2 years, and then you really get exposed the way that they have today, it's a reeling feeling that you don't know how to come back from, and that's why there continues to be so many gashings out there in the run game department for the Thunder.
179 rushing yards for Wheaton to DePauw's 48. And that one doesn't go anywhere. Most of the scoring from Wheaton
Malachi
has
Jones,
been
the ball carrier.
outside of that 20-yard mark. They've really done a nice job. Big plays resulting in points. It does seem, though, like when this DePauw defense gets their backs close to the end zone, they do kind of lock in. They have done so much better inside the red zone whenever they've gotten into that situation. The problem is it's been explosive plays leading to points here for Wheaton.
As crazy as it sounds, that's why offensive production when you get into the red zone is such a premium, because the defense doesn't have as much to defend when it comes to field and real estate. And when that is the case, are you creative enough on offense to be and get and find ways to create opportunities for your best players to get open? So as a defense, you're just reacting because you know there's a sideline in the back of the end zone helping you in your attack defensively. But so you're exactly right, Landon. When you get down to this part of the field, it's about the creativity of the offense and the defense just being stout, knowing they have multiple defenders by way of the out-of-bounds line going all the way across the field and on their sidelines.
3rd down and 10. Under 6 minutes to play here. Empty back set, and the fire toward the end zone. That is caught.
Bercucci's pass completed.
Touchdown for Whit Jewett.
The catch by Whit
And
Jewett.
adding on to the total, it's 41-10 Wheaton. And you mentioned not getting to see much of that empty back set. Well, that's what we saw right there, and it works wonders.
The creativity that I was just talking about was done on that play. It was Riley Howard getting into the flat that pulled Joey Rowland's eyes just long enough that allowed Whit Jewett to come into the picture and get the touchdown. You saw it right there. That's why Joey Rowland's head went down. He was pulled away from that eventual touchdown location by Whit Jewett because of what he saw from Riley Howard, who has been very key in this offensive production today.
That PAT is good, 42-10 the total here at Blackstock Stadium. And it's looking more and more so like Wheaton is moving on to that quarterfinal game where they will meet the winner of that St. John's UW River Falls game. Again, that one is just now entering that 3rd quarter, is into the 3rd quarter. We'll try to get you a score update on that game when we can.
.org to learn more about NCAA eligibility requirements.
Seems like their stats have paused here, just stuck on the 2nd quarter at the moment. But like I said, we will get you those scores as we move along.
Seth Menser and Alex Hoover are the kick returners.
Obviously a big day for football as well. We've got conference championships going on. Texas Tech over BYU 21-7 at the moment in the 3rd quarter. Western Michigan leading Miami of Ohio in the MAC 23-6. But right now, 42-10, the important score here, as Wheaton looking for a huge road victory to move on. And they will bounce this one across the 20-yard line. It'll be returned across the 30.
Hoover to the 33.
So a good return that time for Alex Hooper.
Zach Schlamer made that tackle.
Not too many opportunities left
To win on the tackle.
for this DePauw football team, who looks at a hefty hole. But Valentine going to drop back to pass, firing down the sideline. That one's caught. Breaking free. Lukowski headed toward the end zone. One play and a touchdown.
Pass completed to Leighton Lukowski.
Leighton Lukowski has had a phenomenal football game today. Don't let the score make you think that this has just been all out bad by DePauw. Lukowski, fantastic outing.
In a game that you don't have the production from your best receiver in Robbie Ballantyne because of so much attention, so much blanketed coverage going his way. You need another guy to step up. Leighton Lukowski is that guy. His production was up in the beginning of the season, missed some time due to injury, and it's been back up the last few weeks, just like a lot of other guys on the team and for this DePauw Tigers team in general. Goes up, high points the football, a welcome sight for all those cheering for the Tigers.
By the way, talking about the PAT right there, that being the second PAT, Matthew Berry is just an exceptional talent, has been with this DePauw team. His field goal earlier tied him for 8th in field goals in a career. As far as extra points made, he's already ahead in the pack there. He's added to his total 137 extra points made. That's good enough for first place as well. So we've been talking about Robbie Ballantyne quite a bit, but he is not the only one who has had a major impact with his school. That also moved Matthew Berry tied for second in PAT attempts. As the onside is recovered by DePauw at the 40. And now some pushing and shoving, a flag going to come out. Be curious if that's going to be the offsetting variety. It seemed like there were two players really going after it right there. Have to wait and see how all this comes out, but the important thing is DePauw did get the football back here. 5.5 minutes to go.
And some emotion from linebacker Tariq Jimo Oyashigi, feeling like after he already recovered it, there were some extracurriculars going on by Caleb Titherington that came in still trying to jar the football loose, which explained the reaction from the DePauw Tiger teammates of Oyashigi.
And seems like some celebration.
We have illegal touching by the kick team at the 49 at the 49-yard line. It'll be Wheaton's ball after the play.
Oh.
We've got personal foul. DePauw, number 10. It's a 15-yard penalty. They'll be tacked on to the end of the play.
So you saw on that replay,
Timeout.
the ball actually goes off the shin before it's recovered.
Touching was at the 44-yard line.
And so a penalty flag there, obviously, for illegal touching.
DePauw is challenging the touching on the field.
And they're going to
The play
challenge
is
this.
under further review.
I mean, it looked pretty clear. It bounces off of the shin. But then to make matters worse, another 15-yard penalty going to be assessed for pushing there after the play.
Can't take the challenge with you. I understand what Coach Dietz is trying to do and challenging the call on the field. Something that I didn't even see in real time was that ball ricocheting off of Yoshigi's foot before he was actually able to go and recover it. Everything else is just part of the frustration that I'm sure is mounting for those cheering for the Tigers in what has been a day that they would like to forget pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I mean, we'll take a look again to see where that happens. And yeah, it's just about a yard short of where it needed to be. Had that been a situation where it was just a yard further, would have been a huge play because it gives you an extra 10 yards on your starting field position. But instead, it is just about a yard short of where it needed to be. The ball has to move 10 yards down the field before it can be touched by the kicking team, and it does not look like that is what happened there for Jimo Oyashigi.
And then to go to what Joey Rowland did, the linebacker for DePauw, peeling an opposing player off of his teammate. You can always go into a pile and grab your guy. You just can't go in a pile and pull someone else from the opposite team
The ruling on the
off of the
field
pile.
is upheld. Number 2 for DePauw had the ball go off his foot at the 44-yard line. It's Wheaton ball, first down.
And there you
DePauw
go.
will be charged a timeout and has lost the remaining challenges.
So a big change right there. Obviously, being 42-17, you're doing everything you can to try to get back into this ball game. Not a lot of time left. It's a playoff game, and you think you've got the football here. Not just the football, but you've got it at the other 40. And now Wheaton with the football, they can run a ton of clock, if not all of the clock here on this football game.
We've seen the DePauw offense do this to a couple of teams this season where they get the football back about 5 minutes or less in the game left to go, and they don't give the ball back to the opposing team, something that may be a little bit harder here with how much space that the Wheaton offense doesn't have to travel. So DePauw offense may be able to go back out on the field, but nonetheless, just a turn of the events and a turn of the tide for this DePauw team as a letdown, not being able to come down with that onside kick recovery.
And kudos to the offense here for Wheaton. I mean, you want to talk about a lot of players who have really shined through today. 16 for 27 for Cucci, 293 yards through the air, 4 touchdowns and an interception. Kortenhoven has also had a great game, 106 yards and a touchdown. It's really just been a bit of everybody performing today to get this game to the point that it has been. The pump fake and firing toward the end zone again, and flag's going to come in. That's going to be a penalty flag coming in. Just shooting for the end zone again despite the time and the situation. Being aggressive, continuing on here for Wheaton.
This is an offense that has been on the attack all season long. I already mentioned they've scored over 60 points 5 different times this season. So this is an offense that can flat out get it done, and a quarterback in Cucci that can sling the rock all over the field.
Defense, 34, 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Pretty clear flag on that play, firing toward the end zone. Looked very similar to what we saw on the opposite side of things. Basically a touchdown saving pass interference from Wheaton in that first half of the game. So it will be 1st and 10 from the 18-yard line. Kreider carries, spins, breaks a tackle, out of bounds at the 5-yard line.
Tackled by Tariq Jimo Oyashiji.
Now I don't think that they're going to be able to run 4.5 minutes. They're right there on the door.
It was all about that field position. They got it on the plus side of the 50 and some. So to be able to run the clock out while going forward, just a bit of a tough feat.
(42-17). Under 4 minutes of play left. The play clock dwindling down. And this one will be handed off up the middle for Kreider.
Short gain.
Already talked about Kreider surpassing that century mark as a rusher today. A guy that's been a really nice piece in addition to this offense that we've already touched on. They pass the ball and they do it effectively. So when you add a guy like Kreider into the mix that can rush the football like he can, it's just a match made in heaven.
(178 rushing yards, 293 through the air. And one pinpoint, I mean, I think you can look at the rushing attack from DePauw as far as where that offensive number is sitting. And they ran the clock all the way down to 0. Called the timeout.
Timeout.
Try to use up as much clock as they possibly could right there.
They're first. Timeout.
By the way, I don't know if you noticed, but my MVP of the game, Riley Howard.
He's done an outstanding job.
I love the way that this guy has played. An undersized tight end comes into the starting role. He's been able to block. He had the touchdown. He's had a carry as well, and a few receptions on the game. I just think that, you know, when you're coming into a playoff game and having to fill in a role like this, you're a senior, you're coming in, he played well, and I think that he had a big impact on this football game.
But everyone's going to notice what he did in the pass game as a receiver, how he caught a touchdown pass, how he had some key receptions in the field of play. But the other part that he brings to the game as a tight end is the ability to go and be a key lead blocker, to be half a man on a double team. He's the guy in the run game that is almost the extension of the offensive line. He's just a couple inches back behind them, being able to be a lead blocker in so many of their different run actions. So you're correct. He's done an outstanding job today. And if he's done this as a backup, I can only imagine what they could have done with Juska in the lineup.
And so they're going to go with the speed option out to the right side and take this one out of bounds. So Kreider caught the pitch there. It's 4th down and a yard. And are they going to keep the offense out there? It looks like they might. Just assume take the couple of points, but I think they're just going to run this clock down, probably take another one of those timeouts. No, they'll take the snap. Kreider carries up the middle. He's got the first down. He's continuing to push forward, and he'll be a yard short of the end zone there. Be 1st and goal from the 1.
Short of the goal line, but gets a first down. First and goal for the Thunder at the 1-yard line.
2-minute timeout.
So that'll be the 2-minute break. We're going to take our final break as it's the 4th quarter, 42-17. Wheaton on top, trying to finish this game out. Don't go anywhere. Back here for the final 2 minutes of the 4th quarter. Blackstock Stadium. And Wheaton was able to get the first down for that 2-minute warning. And now carrying it up the middle is Kreider, and he is into the end zone. 2nd touchdown of the day
A 1-yard run
for Matt Kreider, the sophomore. A massive game today. 120 yards on the ground and a touchdown against a team that only allows 13 rushing yards per game.
to attempt the point after.
What do you do when you're facing someone that's been so stout, that's considered a monster in defending the run? You go right on the attack, and you go right into the teeth of the defense. And this run game has done that time and time again, and that's exactly why this lead has ballooned to as much as it has at 32 points advantage for Wheaton.
And so now the score moves 49-17, under 2 minutes of play left in this one. DePauw going to bring the offense back out here. And as far as a score update, UW River Falls leading St. John's now with 8.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. 22-7. Again, the winner of this game will go on to take on the winner of that game. Likely Wheaton moving on. So it seems like Riverside at the moment
Jets will kick it off.
handling St. John's. But that one's certainly not over yet as we head to the final 8 teams next week in the semifinal. Everybody in the race to get to Canton, the D3 championship, the Stag Bowl, January 4th. As again, Wheaton will kick off here and just bounce this one across the field. It'll be picked up short of the 30-yard line and returned to the 39. More pushing and shoving going on after that one.
Tackled by Charlie Duck for Wheaton.
A lot of seniors, a lot of upperclassmen on this DePauw football team as well. Certainly has led to the success on the season. But they are also going up against a Wheaton team that's got quite a few upperclassmen. And they came out and showed their strengths. First and 10. Valentine back to pass. He'll fire. Catches the one man, caught by the one man who has just been putting on a receiving clinic. Lukowski again.
Lukowski's stripes have shown strong today in his effort, especially in the game. As we've already mentioned, that they didn't get much from Robbie Ballantyne for obvious reasons, with so much attention from this secondary on Ballantyne at all times. But honestly, sometimes Joseph Bracey doing a nice job being the lead defensive back and corner to the field more times than not, doing blanketed coverage on Ballantyne.
And now firing middle of the field. The offense continuing to move.
Catch by Evan Pitzer.
Second catch of the day for Evan Pitzer. Ballantyne firing in zone, and that's bobbled and dropped.
Intended for Robbie Ballantyne in the end zone.
Trying to hit the deep ball to Robbie Ballantyne.
Brett Dieter broke up that pass for the Thunder.
The Crown Point siblings couldn't connect on that one. Actually just well defended. Thought at first that was deflected by Ballantyne, but it was actually Brett Dieter that had the deflection on that play. Ballantyne again, second down and 10, fires toward the right side, and that is incomplete for Samuels.
Ballantyne's pass intended for Palmer Samuels.
And it's important to note that Robbie Ballantyne is so critical to this offense because he garners so much attention. Brett Dietz talked about it earlier in the season. A lot of times they understand how to attack the opposing defense based on how they're defending Robbie Ballantyne. The only thing with today is he was double teamed more times than he wasn't. It's just that they weren't able to be effective when it mattered most, while also giving up so much on the defensive side of the ball. So things just weren't clicking, nor was it complimentary for the better part of this game for DePauw.
Firing to Ballantyne again, and that is once more broken up.
Ballantyne near the goal line. It's incomplete.
Nate Tofelon with the breakup.
Pass breakup by Nate Tofelon.
And if this continues on without another big play, this is going to be Ballantyne's season low for yardage.
4th down for the Tigers.
Talking about Robbie Ballantyne, that is. 3 receptions, 35 yards. Now again, firing middle of the field. There's Robbie Ballantyne. And you had a feeling that Scott was going to continue to try to feed his brother here in the latter stages. Get one last possession here with his brother, who is a senior.
The closing act for Robbie Ballantyne. Why not try and get him as much production toward the end of this game as possible?
This time the quarterback keeper into the end zone. Rushing touchdown for Scott Ballantyne with 37 seconds left on the clock. So really one of those situations, it's more of a score for pride, of course, keeping the offense out there, keeping the starters in, and getting a scoring drive.
Matthew Berry on to attempt the conversion kick.
So the PAT is good.
Berry's kick is good, and the score is now
49-24, our score now. So as far as Wheaton moving on in the playoff, you know, I think that what we saw here was whatever they need to do in a game, whatever is called upon, whether they need to be able to be dominant in the rushing game, dominant in the passing game, they need a defensive stop. They've shown that they're capable of doing any of those things moving forward.
They've shown exactly why their 2 losses this season have come to some historically great programs. And North Central College that has really stepped into the hunted in this better part of the last 5 to 10 years. Mount Union being a program that's been storied for so long. This is a Wheaton team that has been and has had a lot of success in this tournament. And this showed more and more each time that they stepped on the field with each possession today, why exactly they've had so much postseason success in the W column.
For the Thunder. The tackle by Nathan Creed.
The onside was recovered by Kortenhoven. Always scary when you see a play like that, especially with the score being what it is. I mean, he came down hard, jumped up for that ball, and grabbed it out of the air.
Because truthfully, you start to look ahead to next week.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Availability and the health of your players, just trying to make it through this one safe and alive for next week as you look ahead to this thing getting dwindled down to just 8 teams when things get kicked off next weekend.
So we'll have a kneel down here, and that will be the final play on this round 3 game. Moving on to the quarterfinals will be Wheaton. And they will take on, as we mentioned, the winner of this St. John's UW River Falls game. And River Falls just extended the lead with 5:11 to go in the third quarter. They lead 27-7. So unless something changes in that game, possibly going to be a UW River Falls versus Wheaton game in the quarterfinal on December 13th. But for right now, final thoughts on this football game.
It was dominated by the Thunder from start to finish. I really feel that play earlier in the game, a strip sack by Peter Johannick that eventually was returned back for what was almost a 50 to 55-yard strip sack fumble return touchdown by Chandler Bryan. And I was feeling at that moment that was the play that really put this game out of reach. Huge credit to Coach Jesse Scott and his Thunder team. They did an outstanding job. And congratulations to Coach Dietz. This guy's only won at the highest level for so long. 60 games coached. He's won 51 of them. His team is going to be in the mix for many years to come because he's such a great head coach. So congratulations to them on what was a great season.
For DePauw, they move forward into what will be Scott Ballantyne's junior season. So you know that they're going to be in good hands going on to next season. Ballantyne and his brother. Obviously, that won't be there next season, but a phenomenal year for this DePauw football team as they fall 49-24, and the Thunder will move on to the next round. That's going to do it for us. I appreciate everybody who's decided to listen in on us. Moving on to the quarterfinals after this. This has been a presentation of ESPN Plus. We appreciate everybody who decided to listen. Jared Thomas, my name is Landon Kleindorfer. Enjoy the first day of the rest of your life, and have a great rest of your weekend.